be a guest. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Tiranno. Today I'm going to be reviewing Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Don't know why I keep belting out songs. I know I can't sing. I do love to sing, but can't do it. Anyway, let me not get too far off subject. Beauty and the Beast, 2017. Disney is bringing back the 1991 classic and putting it in a live action of sort, mix of CGI. 1991's Beauty and the Beast, favorites, not my all-time favorite. There's many Disney films that came out in the animated time, in the 90s especially, that I favor Beauty and the Beast, but it is up there. It is a beloved classic and was nominated for Best Picture, not something many animated features could say at that time. I actually think Beauty and the Beast was the first, but now fast forward 26 years, and we are here at the remake of Beauty and the Beast. Now, as you can see, I'm not at AMC Times Square, nor is Mr. James Shue with me. I apologize for that, but this review is coming to you 2 weeks early, so I want to make sure you are happy and satisfied getting this review to you as quickly as possible rather than waiting. But we'll maybe have another review, maybe Mr. Shue, and we'll go more in depth with this. So let's get right into it. Beauty and the Beast, I thought, was a solid movie. I was actually quite surprised. I'm not crazy about the live action adaptations Disney has rolled out as of late. I wasn't crazy about Cinderella. I do think Maleficent, however, had sort of an alluring factor just because it was different. You know, Cinderella told the story that we all know very well. The Jungle Book told a story that we knew very well. I didn't like Jungle Book, actually, very much at all. I know I'm very on the the very polar opposite end for a lot of people. I didn't think Jungle Book was that great. Beauty and the Beast, though, I would say with confidence, is the best live-action remake Disney has done. Now, that being said, there were issues with the movie. Number one being the fact that Beauty and the Beast is a tight, straight-to-the-point movie that lasts 80 minutes. Yes, it's a cartoon. Yes, it's initially meant for kids and families. So, is it a problem that we extended it to near 2 hours? Yes, because everything thrown in feels unnecessary. It feels forced. It takes us away from the moments that are happening that are heavy with emotion. So the very beginning of Beauty and the Beast feels like a shot-for-shot remake. At the very beginning, I'm like, oh, we're literally just going to recreate Beauty and the Beast. And no, they did add in those sequences. One part that I did like, they gave Beast a solo song later in the movie that I thought was probably the best original moment. I just couldn't help but love what was going on. I think Jeffrey K. Howard, the Las Vegas film critic, really kind of hit the nail on the head. The movie felt stiff. It didn't feel like it was giving everything. It was lucid. And of course, like I've said, with every single Disney remake, it just lacks the magic. It lacks that beautiful Disney touch that falls on those animated classics. Now, I know a lot of people are going, well, this is a perfect example of comparing something to the original. On its own, Beauty and the Beast is not a bad movie. Like I said, I think people enjoy it. Kids who've not seen the 1991 classic will watch this and probably enjoy it, though it is much grayer and darker, and you know, it does have its magical moments, but it doesn't have that real beauty, that vivid colors that were known, that kind of really attest to that Disney magic. But the songs are there. I mean, one thing that I didn't like about Jungle Book is that it's kind of, sort of, not really a musical, except there are random songs thrown in the middle, and they feel out of place. It doesn't feel like a musical. This movie was smart enough to put the majority of the popular songs in. Something There, Belle's opening song, Gaston, Tale as Old as Time. You know, and I'm sure I mean, there was, I don't know if there's any, I'm sure there's one or two maybe that got cut, but the majority of the songs that people know from Beauty and the Beast are in this movie. Another thing that I would like to say is that I thought Luke Evans was really, really good in this movie. He plays the character of Gaston, and I was so surprised. He felt so perfect in that role and in that world that I was just, I mean, when he was on screen, I was enjoying him. I thought he was charismatic, but I also thought he had that kind of, you know, that evil, that very bad Disney bad guy type of feel. You know, he really kind of brought Gaston to life, in my opinion. Emma Watson, I thought, did fine. I think she did good. I thought she, brought some heart. Dan Stevens as the Beast, and Prince also did a good job. But for me, the one that felt the most real in that world was Luke Evans as Gaston. Also, Here is one thing that kind of did bother me too. I don't know if you caught it, but recently a lot is starting up because there was this thing that Disney introducing a gay character in the new Beauty and the Beast movie, which would be left for Josh Gad's character, Gaston's right-hand man. And to me, I mean, this is something to me that just kind of bothered me because it felt like it was pandering, right? It felt like this movie was constantly, like it's not overbearing, right, that he's this gay character. It's kind of really subtle, and even to the end, it's kind of subtle. Well, I wouldn't say subtle, but I mean it's there. But if you're not really kind of looking out for that, maybe you wouldn't really notice it because in the original cartoon, his sidekick is very fond of him and is touching on Gaston and things like that. But it felt very pandering, like they really wanted to be like, oh look, this is our first gay character. This is what we're doing here. Like we're doing something groundbreaking, and I didn't feel that way. It wasn't like this character was this open, out, knowledgeable character. He was kind of a joke. He was someone that was foolish, and when he dances with a man, it's silly and it's goofy, and it just doesn't have that right perspective, I think, to present this idea that this is Disney's first live-action gay character in a movie. And to me, that was like kind of like, oh, that's not the greatest way to introduce that kind of idea, but nonetheless, that's a side note. I think the music here works, and I think most people who love the 1991 original Beauty and the Beast are going to really enjoy this movie. I just couldn't love it because it's one of those situations, and, that's not strange, that the original 1991 film still holds up, and it's done better than this remake. So, would I watch Beauty and the Beast again? Sure. But if I had the option of choosing, I would always go back to the 1991 classic. A lot of you are probably saying, well, of course, Jake, but how is this? It's fine. It's not bad. It's not spectacular, but it is a good time. Like I said, my favorite live-action remake from Disney. I think they're getting closer, and I hope they get a lot closer as they are now doing the Lion King live-action remake, which is my be-all, end-all favorite Disney movie, and them doing that one kind of makes me weary, but I'm hoping they're getting closer to capturing that magic that kind of feels that's lacking here. I also think a problem with this movie is that it doesn't always feel exciting. It doesn't always feel, it sometimes kind of feels a little bit empty and lifeless and kind of dreary. There's moments in this movie that don't feel super exciting or effective. For instance, when Belle is first introduced to the castle, I was into it. I'm like, okay, so, obviously, spoiler alert, sort of, Belle takes the place of her father, kind of sets up the story of her meeting Beast and really kind of developing their relationship. But then when we're meeting all the characters, I'm not crazy about them. I don't have that affection. They do grow on you, though. But I will say Be Our Guest was a little bit disappointing. I don't think it had that really that the original one has. Beauty and the Beast is a good movie. It's as good as a remake of a great movie could be. I will say that it is not amazing. I think it does have a lot of issues, and I think a lot of it is because they decided to add more and try to make this a fuller movie, because all it was doing was adding things. It was adding fat. I always say trim the fat and make things tighter, more effective. Beauty and the Beast, an 85-minute movie, was already trim enough, and this movie had to insert, 2 hours worth of stuff. And it didn't, and it felt a little bit bloated on that sense. Some scenes really worked, some scenes didn't. I think you will be able to go and sing and learn about all your favorite songs, but I think all it would do is really inspire you to go home and watch the 1991 version of Beauty and the Beast. Overall, solid movie, not spectacular. All I could say about Beauty and the Beast is that perhaps there's nothing there that wasn't there before. Thank you so much for tuning into this review. I know it is 2 weeks early. Just say go to chasingcinema.com to see my full review. My full review will actually be up the day this movie comes out, which is March 13th. So now you can enjoy the video. YouTube exclusive, which is early, but my review will be posted on March 13th. Let me know how you feel about Beauty and the Beast down here in the comment sections below. Also, make sure to subscribe to never miss a video review, and also give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jacob Tiranno, and please continue chasing cinema.